Minutes are the instant written record of a meeting or hearing. They typically describe the events of the meeting and may include a list of attendees, a statement of the issues considered by the participants, and related responses or decisions for the issues. They are not transcripts, but are the official written record of the meeting of an organization or group, and should contain mainly a record of what was done at the meeting, not what was actually said by the individual members. For most organizations or groups, it is important for the minutes to be terse and only include a summary of the decisions. A verbatim report is typically not useful unless the organization's rules require it. Generally, minutes begin with the name of the body holding the meeting and may also include the place, dates, list of people present, and the time that the chair called the meeting to order. Meeting minutes are notes that are recorded during a meeting. They highlight the key issues that were discussed, motions proposed or voted on, and activities to be undertaken. The minutes of the meeting are usually taken by a designated member of the group. Their task is to provide an accurate record of what transpired during the meeting. Before recording any details, a designated minutes recorder should familiarize themselves with the type of information that they should record. A group may be using a specific format to record notes, but overall, the minutes of a meeting typically include the date and time the meeting happened, the name of attendees, as well as absent participants, the acceptance of or amendments made to the previous meeting's minutes, and the decisions made regarding each item on the agenda. The agenda will serve as your outline for the meeting minutes. Keep the minutes heading consistent with the agenda topics for continuity. Generally, the organization name or the name of the group that is meeting goes at the top with the date on the next line. After the date, include both the time the meeting came to order and the time the meeting ended. If you are new to an organization or are writing minutes for the first time, ask to see the past meeting minutes so that you can maintain the same format for the heading and include all of the necessary information that the company or organization requires. The names of everyone in attendance at the meeting are usually the first things recorded. This serves two purposes. Absent members can stay in the loop and keep abreast of what they missed at the meeting, and their absence from this meeting becomes part of the public records. If some participants regularly find ways to avoid meetings, they might be more reluctant to skip a further meeting when they realize that their repeated absences have been duly noted. It is advisable to call out the names of the participants to prepare the final list of attendees and those who were absent. And be sure to capture the roles of each attendee so that you can mention them in the meeting minutes. Both the first and the last name must be specific as part of the professional meeting etiquette. For proper discipline, you can mention the names alphabetically, either through their last name or through their first. At the crux of any meeting, you need to decide what should be done after the meeting and take action based on these decisions. Without these two things, the conference is nothing but a failure, and holding the meeting was a waste of time. An action item is a discrete task that a team or individual must accomplish after the meeting. Therefore, the tasks that arise from meetings should be documented in the meeting minutes for easy follow-up and tracking. As teams or individuals complete the tasks, they are recorded as being completed, then removed from the list of outstanding action items. People who overestimate how well they are likely to remember things may end up forgetting to follow up. This is why an action item is documented, to help keep track and accomplish the things needed for the team productivity. Teams can use the list to figure out what is required to get a project from start to finish. Announcements can be any reports made by the meeting participants, including proposed agenda items for the next meeting, as well as other similar important events that may take place immediately following the meeting or at any point between the current and next meeting that are necessary to the conduction of regular business. Generally, announcements are first made by the facilitator based on the current agenda and the agenda for the next meeting, but they are also made by any of the participants once the facilitator asks if anyone in the meeting has an announcement to make. The details of these announcements should be duly recorded in detail in the minutes of the meeting. In general, most meetings within an organization occur on regularly scheduled intervals, and therefore the rough agenda details for the next meeting will already be known. These details include the time, date, and location that the meeting will be held, as well as some of the topics that will be covered. While this information is not always going to be 100% precise, and things may and do often change between meetings, the notes for those next meetings should be presented and included in the minutes. This way, no one in attendance can argue that they did not know there would be another meeting. Then there is a formal motion to approve minutes of a previously held meeting. While it is not necessary, approval can be handled by unanimous consent. The facilitator should ask if there are any corrections to the minutes. Then, after all corrections have been offered, the facilitator will then need to repeat the question until there are no further corrections to the minutes needed. It is only after the reading of the minutes, the offer of any corrections, and the finalization of the minutes at the next meeting that they will become an official part of the meeting records. There are some instances in which the meeting minutes may be adjusted in between the meetings, even after they have already been approved by the meeting participants. Every week, we upload new videos between 5 and 10 minutes in length, where we will focus on the strategic implementation of Lean and Six Sigma. As a Six Sigma expert, I am passionate about quality. And if you are too, then click subscribe to be notified whenever we upload our next Lean Six Sigma video.